Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as we're currently correcting. We'll also be discussing breaking news: Binance under scrutiny for seizing Palestinian crypto funds. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. 44,000 Bitcoin worth $3 billion has been withdrawn from Binance thus far today. Craziness. I'll be breaking down what's really going on behind closed doors regarding this. We'll also be discussing breaking news: the Telegram CEO Pavel taken to court in Paris, and charges have officially been filed against him. We're also going to be discussing Bitcoin holdings of publicly listed firms increased to $20 billion in 1 year. I'll be breaking down this latest data. We'll also be discussing the SEC's next crypto target. Guess what? NFTs via the OpenSea marketplace. That's right. Max Kaiser says NFTs are unquestionably securities and that Gary is correct. Others say the SEC is targeting OpenSea 24 hours after Trump launches the new NFT collection is not a coincidence. Remember when Biden-Harris admin sent $243 million worth of the biddy to Coinbase immediately after Trump's proposal of a strategic Bitcoin reserve? Gary Gensler is not here to protect the investors. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin needs the equivalent of 1% of the global wealth assets to hit that seven-figure epic milestone of $1 million per Bitcoin, according to the on-chain analyst, Willy Woo. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. If you're new to the channel, very important, smash those likes. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe to #1 Day of the Bitcoin Pod, and hit that bell icon to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, 7 days a week, just like this. Today is Pod 1743. I'm your host, JV, and it's August 28, 2024. Happy hump day. Bitcoin doing a bit of a correction. As you can see, we did tap in the 57,000 range, had a little bounce back, but we're still down. We almost tapped 65 just the other day. Again, expect more extreme volatility. Considering it's post-halving, it's that time of the season. It's going to be a pretty lit year, in my opinion, but it's going to be extremely volatile. But anyways, let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. You should be able to see right here on your screen, Coin 360, the biddy down 4%, trading just above 59,300 at the time of the live stream. We have Ether down 2%, maintaining just above $2,500. We got Solana up down 6%, trading at $144. All the major altcoins correcting and in the red. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com, the current crypto market cap sits at a $2.08 trillion. So we're back on the decline. Bitcoin market cap all the way down to $1.1 trillion. Insane. 102 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours. Volume's up about 52% of the day. Bitcoin dominance is a flat even 56%, with the Ether dominance a 14.5%. And checking out top gainers within top 100, we have Dogs. Shout out Nipsey, up 20%. Immutable up 3.5%, and Aave up 2%. Below that, very modest gains, virtually nothing really in the green for the day, as the majority of the market is bleeding and in the red, because when Bitcoin corrects, the rest of the market goes along with it for the ride. And checking out crypto bubbles, we get a visual perspective on the daily. Virtually everything in the red and correcting, minus Dogs. Again, this is a big victory for Nipsey today, so shout out to the Nipinator. Maybe we'll get a Nipinator indicator later on in the stream. And zooming out on the monthly, Rex City, maybe 5% of the alts even in the green, but most of them down 20+%, some 30-40%. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index, today we're rated a 30 in fear. Yesterday 48, last week 26, last month 74. And checking out time chain calendar, let's see what particular block we're at as of right now at the time of this live stream. We're currently on Bitcoin block number, survey says 858,861. The next Bitcoin halving scheduled to take place most likely in April of 2028. But anyways, now for some live not Q&A, but the TA, the astrology for the broskies. And we'll also be pulling up some of the live charts. This particular headline reads, can Bitcoin get a green monthly close above 64.3? All eyes on 64.3 right now. There's only, I think, 3 days left of the month, so it's not looking likely, but we all know anything is possible with the biddy. Bitcoin's summer lull could finally come to an end with a bullish breakout if it manages to close the month of August in the green. To close August in the green, the Bitcoin price needs a monthly close of above 64.3, which is roughly, what is that, 4,000, 5,000 from today's price action, which could require an overall 7% rally. That's right. While the monthly candle close is difficult to predict, Bitcoin's recent price action is a positive sign, according to Bitfinex analysts who shared the following. Bitcoin reclaiming recently lost key levels like 64 Gs, baby, and 61.5 are bullish signs. The current market is still illiquid, and we continuously have the low volume, volatile moves. The current move lower is an unwinding of perps and spot long positions that had entered the market before the Jackson Hole conference. Yeah, so Bitcoin price has been struggling to trade above that 60,000 psychological resistance, and the world's first crypto is now down over 12% on the monthly chart. So there you go, another bearish month. We had June, July, and August all bearish. I predict September, October, November, December, next 4 months, bull season. Let me know your thoughts on that. Now, analysts warn that the lack of liquidity characteristic of the summer could carry into September bull and bring downside volatility and make it a September bear. Thus, Bitcoin will struggle to overcome 63.9 resistance, according to Bitfinex analysts who shared the following alongside the chart. Price is a reflection of the historical market transactions. We must look under the hood. Price rallied up to the short-term hodler realized price of around 63,900 currently, and thus we also some profit taken from the short-term hodler cohort. Now, Bitcoin's average returns for the month of September were negative roughly 5% since 2013. Now, Bitcoin's price remains range-bound between 58 and 64 amid the summer of liquidity. However, a period of the lower interest rates could trigger the Bitcoin parabolic run, according to Christian Hapalapapapapa, the structured products lead at Nexo, quoting him here. And what a beautiful name. Should lower interest rates come into effect to create a strong tailwind for the biddy, then the bull market may only be taking a breather now before the intense growth returns in early to mid 2025. Investors are increasingly expecting an interest rate cut from the Fed at its upcoming meeting, September 18th. Couple of weeks out. And according to the latest data from the CME Fed Watch tool, the odds of a 25 basis point rate cut currently stand at 65.5%, while the odds of a 50 base point cut are 34.5%. And checking out some of the live chart action, Jackson. Let me switch up the scene so it could look so fresh and so clean. There you go. So you should be able to see live chart action brought to you by TradingView via Coinbase. You can see we're currently hovering just above 59,100-ish. We do have some targets on the 1 hour chart. The bull target is currently at 62.6. The bear target, I mean, we do have two bottoms currently already in play, and it looks like the bottom was $57,800. And zooming out from here, we'll check out the 4 hour and we'll go wider. Here we go. 4 hour chart, live and in the flesh. Look at that big red candle we experienced yesterday, unfortunately. We're looking to just recover, but we're maintaining. Will we continue to go down and retest the lower levels? The most recent bottom in the past, whatever, how long it's been, a very long time, has been 49,000, which we tapped maybe a week or two ago. So as you can see, you probably can't see it on your side of the chart because it's so far the left. But nonetheless, we're maintaining at 59. We're either going to break back above 60 and challenge that 64,000 level we need for the monthly close, or we're likely to just continue to start correcting even lower and retesting the lower, support levels. So let me know where you think we'll go from here, and we'll get some broader perspective as well. Here's the 1 day chart, which shows us, the last couple of days, unfortunately, been pretty rough. But prior to that, Friday, we had a big green candle pump. So you never know. We do have a target as well on the daily chart. You can see on your screen sitting all the way down at 47.7. So you got to keep that in mind. There's a possibility if we keep going lower and we break the current low of 49, then 47.7 is the likely area to be tested, as pointed out here on the daily chart. We'll also check out the weekly, which is typically the most bullish of them all. Mirror, mirror on the wall, which chart is the bullish of them all? And they said the weekly chart. JV, he just shared it. We looked at the target and said, whoa, 125,000. You conceded Cup and handle target. A little slick Rick montage there, but nonetheless, I digress. And we're also going to check out the 1 month chart, yo, and we'll see where we look, how we looking. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Yeah, so sideways trading action again. Last 3 months have been pretty bearish overall, but I think entering September, we may have a bull month following for the rest of the year, potentially, but there's no guarantee with the biddy. Expect more extreme volatility. And respect my authority like a fat Cartman. Just saying. So here we go. Let's discuss big news. The largest exchange in the world just seized all of Palestinians' assets, according to the rumors. I'm trying to dispel some of the rumors, but it's pretty sus. And another reminder, take all of your crypto off the exchanges ASAP. Trust nobody. No exchange. Headline here reads, Binance under scrutiny for seizing Palestinian crypto funds. Yeah. Max says, I wish Palestine had taken my advice in 2013. They could have bought Israel by now. Bitcoin has no riba. When I pitched this to some mullahs, they scoffed. Should Palestine switch from the shekel to the Bitcoin in their central bank, add Bitcoin to the reserves? And he actually shares the article source where he wrote it. And this is off the back of the news. Breaking! Cryptocurrency exchange Binance has seized all Palestinian assets at Israel's request. And you guys don't think that the government can seize all of the Bitcoin ETF BTC Max has been warning you about since the inception of the ETF? You really put that past them that they wouldn't do that? Think again. Anything's possible with these mofos. Someone posted 44,000 Bitcoin where 3 million has been withdrawn from Binance so far today. Binance stands with Israel. Binance stands with genocide. Keep boycotting. And this is according to Salama Ahmed. And my apologies, I can't pronounce the name, right? I'm not from the Middle East. And someone else wrote, FUD. Only a limited number of user accounts linked to illicit funds were blocked from transacting. So this is the Binance CEO saying it was all FUD. There's no need to panic. We got it under control. He's saying it wasn't all of them, but only those linked to illicit funds were blocked. Meanwhile, who do we trust? But let me continue reading it. There have been some incorrect statements about this. As the global crypto exchange, we comply with international accepted anti-money laundering legislation, just like any other financial institution. We'll continue to educate users on how to safely and securely transact on our platform. Want to know how to safely transact on any exchange? Move your crypto to cold storage. Not your keys, not your coins. I highly doubt this mofo is going to teach you how to self-custody. So just pointing out the obvious. Most importantly, we hope for lasting peace throughout the region. Yeah, you're hoping for lasting peace as you just stole $3 billion worth of Bitcoin from Palestinians? Go F yourself, Richard Tung. Mofo. I don't trust these mofos at all. Do you trust these mofos? I didn't even get into the story yet, and I don't trust them. But anyways, Binance seized crypto from Palestinians as per the request of Israel, according to sources from prominent industry executive Ray Youssef. I trust this guy 100 times more than the CEO of Binance, just FYI, family. So yeah, co-founder of Paxful and CEO of Noon's peer-to-peer platform took on X August 26 report that Binance confiscated funds from Palestinians upon the Israel Defense Forces. Quoting him here, Binance has seized all funds from Palestinians as per the request of the IDF. They refused to return the funds. All appeals denied, including a letter from the Israel authorities passed by Binance. And he argued that the measure affected all the Palestinians, predicting that other countries like Lebanon and Syria are likely to come next. You've been warned, quoting him again. All Palestinians are affected by judging by the way things are going by the Lebanese and the Syrians. We'll get the same treatment. Not your keys, not your coins. How many times have you heard that catchphrase before? This is pod episode 1743, so I'm going to estimate you've heard it at least 1,743 times. So yeah, according to Youssef's sources, Binance referred to a letter signed November 2023 by Israel's National Bureau of Counter-Terror Financing, Paul Landis, in response to Palestinian users who appealed to restore the blocked funds. All appeals were denied. And written in Hebrew, the letter mentioned that the anti-terrorism laws allow the Minister of Defense to issue a temporary seizure of property of a declared terrorist organization, including crypto. Quoting the letter, according to the anti-terrorism law, cryptographic currencies that have been transferred by a declared terrorist organization constitute property of a declared terrorist organization and cryptocurrency wallets to which has been transferred. The letter further stated that the Ministry of Defense should order the confiscation of the oh my freaking God, for which the seizure order was issued. Again, they can take anything from you, family, especially crypto on the exchange. It's like a sitting duck. They just take it from you without your permission. They don't need your permission. You don't even own it to begin with. Not your keys, not your cheese, big dog. And according to communication from Binance, the crypto trading platform only restricted certain accounts. Well, if you genuinely took 3 billion, which are the numbers here, I highly doubt you cherry-picked some accounts. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And I don't trust nothing coming from these mofos. If it ain't CZ, I don't trust you, fake Binance CEO who took over after CZ got in prison and had to pay $4.3 billion to the Department of Justice and Gary Gensler's goons. Just saying. And I speak for the entire crypto community. I'm channeling right now, family. This is our frustration we're feeling. When asked to confirm or deny the report, Binance shared that the restrictions affected insignificant amount of users. Yeah, I don't trust nothing coming from Binance or whatever. Again, as we get more updates on the story, we'll share more. But biggest picture here, don't keep your crypto on the exchange. There's no benefit, and this is not benefiting you whatsoever. Just FYI. Big news. Here's the latest with the Telegram CEO. We're going to be breaking it down pound for pound. The #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Let's go. So yeah, this headline reads, breaking. Telegram CEO Pavel taken to court in Paris. That's right. Telegram founder CEO Pavel was taken to the court custody on August 28th. Today, according to several reports, the Russian news agency RIA Novosti reported that he was taken to the court at around 1 p.m. UTC. The French news agency Agence France Presse, better known as AFP News, confirmed this report, citing a source close to the case, stating that Pavel is heading to the Paris court as his initial detention period ends. And earlier in the day, RIA Novosti correspondent reported that the two cars with the flashing lights left the National Anti-Fraud Bureau in the suburbs of Paris at high speed, where the Telegram CEO was supposed to be held. As Mario Naval breaks out here, Telegram CEO Pavel taken to the court in Paris. Two cars with the flashing lights were spotted leaving the Anti-Fraud Bureau in Paris suburbs, while the Telegram CEO was reportedly detained. Now, they also reported that Pavel appeared before the investigating judge, who may decide to charge him. Quoting him here, the investigation judge stopped the detention of Pavel and brought him in for the first interrogation and possible presentation of charges, according to sources. Now, the Telegram founder was arrested at the airport in Paris on August 24th after the president invited him for a sit-down. It sounds like they set him up, but what are your thoughts? French prosecutors subsequently issued a statement on his arrest August 28th. The prosecutor said that Pavel was taken into custody as part of a judicial investigation against an unnamed person on multiple charges. Oh, great. An unnamed, invisible person that allegedly he committed crimes against. How many times have we heard this story, gentlemen? Now, including conspiracy with illegal activities, refusal to communicate with the authorities, money laundering, criminal association, and providing cryptology service without prior declaration. The French authorities mentioned that the prosecutors intended to question Pavel as part of the investigation and intended the time frame for his custody to a maximum possible period of 96 hours from August 25th to the 28th. So it sounds like they actually detained him for the maximum hours possible. The current detention period reportedly expires today at 6 p.m. And in addition to potential charges from the investigative judge, the Paris prosecutor's office is expected to issue a statement on Pavel's arrest later in the day. Let's discuss this $20 billion inflow, headline reads, Bitcoin holdings of publicly listed firms increased to $20 billion in 1 year. That's right, at least according to this report. Bitcoin holdings of the publicly listed companies have increased by almost 200% in a year, from $7.2 billion to $20 billion. Bitbo data shows the 42 publicly listed companies hold 335,249 bitties, worth roughly $20 billion. And according to the investment manager, Nickel Digital Asset Management, the amount amount of the Biddy. Publicly traded firms held a year ago was worth $7.2 billion, which is 177.7% increase. 777 means jackpot, baby. Into the Biddy. And yeah, so here are the publicly traded firms. You got MicroStrategy, 226,500 Bitcoin on the balance sheet, worth 13.5 billion. You got Marathon, 24,000, almost 25,000 biddies. Tesla, 9,700 biddies. Hut 8, 9,000 biddies. Riot, 9,000 biddies. These are a lot of the Bitcoin miners. Coinbase, 9,000 biddies. That's Coinbase Global. Galaxy Digital, 8,000 biddies. Block, 8,000 biddies. CleanSpark, 7,000 biddies. Bitcoin Group, 3,800 biddies. Hive, 2,300 biddies, and Voyager, 2,200 biddies. Now, the trend started with business intelligence firm MicroStrategy buying over 21,000 BTC, which started this trend back in August of 2020, making Bitcoin the primary treasury reserve asset. Shout out to the Giga Chat. And as of August 2024, the business intelligence firm increased its holdings to 226,500 biddies. And because the company's interest in holding Bitcoin has increased, Nickel Digital commissioned a survey to learn more about how the institutions feel about holding the asset. And during the study, researchers approached 200 institutional investors and wealth managers in the United States and the United Kingdom, Germany, Singapore, Switzerland, Brazil, and the UAE. The results show 75% of the organizers already invested into the crypto space believe publicly listed companies should hold the Biddy. Meanwhile, 26% of the survey participants strongly supported the Biddy's use case as a reserve asset. Meanwhile, Nickel Digital also highlighted that the survey participants, who collectively manage 1.7 trillion worth of the assets, expect stronger growth in the number of the Bitcoin held by the publicly traded companies. And of the survey participants, 58% believe 10% more of the listed companies will hold Bitcoin on their balance sheet in the next 5 years. And 8% of the survey participants predicted 25% or more of the public firms will add the Biddy to the balance sheet within the next 5 years. Meanwhile, Nickel CEO, founding partner, and Tully believes that the results highlight how the institutional investors see the long-term value of the Biddy. Quoting him here, institutional investors and wealth managers are clearly seeing the long-term value in having listed companies initiate the exposure to the digital assets as part of their reserve allocation, thus mitigating the risks of the currency debasement. Precisely. Now, the 335,249 Bitcoin that public companies currently hold represent only 1.6% of the Bitcoin total supply, which we all know is capped at 21 million. There's probably 5 to 6 million biddies that are going to be frozen and never move ever again, like 1.1 million held by Satoshi's wallets. And you already know, if you don't know, now you know, there's a finite limited supply of the Biddy. And there you go. So yeah, this headline reads, SEC's next crypto target. Regulator goes after the NFT platform OpenSea. And before I read the story, here are some tweets. Someone wrote here, SEC claims NFTs are securities and threatens to sue OpenSea in a Wells notice. So they just received a Wells notice, I guess. Max Kaiser says NFTs are unquestionably securities and that Gary Gensler is correct. Another person wrote, Luke Martin, the SEC is targeting OpenSea 24 hours after Trump launches new NFT collection is not a coincidence. In yesterday's podcast, I shared that Trump was launching an NFT collection on the Ordinals, which is the Bitcoin blockchain. Do you think this is a coincidence? Let me know. Remember when Biden-Harris admin sent $243 million worth of the Bitcoin to Coinbase immediately after the Trump proposal of a strategic Bitcoin reserve? I remember. We covered the story. Gary Gensler is not here to protect the investors. I agree with that. I think the last thing on his agenda is how to protect investors. I think the number one thing on his agenda, target crypto and shake them down and steal their money and cause chaos, panic, and uncertainty and FUD in the market. I stand by that. Let me know your thoughts. But meanwhile, here's the article. The U.S. SEC had made it a mission to target various crypto platforms, albeit with questionable success thus far. Next on the list is NFT platform OpenSea. Now, personally, I don't care. I'm not an NFT guy. I've never even invested into an NFT in my life. But to me, it's principle. I think everything Gary does is unlawful, and I can't wait for him to get fired by the Trumpster on day one. Let me know your thoughts. Now, Devin Finzer, OpenSea chief executive, tweeted the company he runs is the latest to receive a Wells notice from the SEC, which initiated that NFTs available to buy or sell on the platform could be unregistered securities. Quoting him here, we are shocked the SEC would make such a sweeping move against creators and artists, but we are ready to stand up and fight for your right to oh wait, that's BC Boys. By targeting NFTs, the SECs would stifle innovation on an even broader scale. Hundreds of thousands of online artists and creatives are at risk, and many do not have the resources to defend themselves. Facts. Now, he described NFTs as creative goods, such as art, collectibles, event tickets, and others, which should not fall under the same category as securities like collateralized debt obligations and some crypto assets. And Finzer outlined Man, does Finzer not rhyme with Gensler? Anyways, outlined a few artists that have filed lawsuits against the agency, which according to him describes their fear that the sale of their art and music could be deemed unregistered security offerings. And additionally, OpenSea CEO said his team will pledge $5 million to help cover the legal fees of NFT creators and devs that receive a Wells notice. So that means if you've created an NFT, they could potentially come after you. That's precisely what they're trying to do right now. Now, some of the crypto companies that were targeted by the SEC include Ripple, Coinbase, Binance, Uniswap, Kraken, Consensus, and every single crypto company in the world that has any net worth worthy of talking about has pretty much been targeted by the SEC because that's what they do. You're dealing with the mafia. Gestapo. Just saying. Gensler's the Al Capone of crypto. Shaking you down. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with Max or do you agree with Luke? Let me know in the comments. Now for our feature story of the day, fam. Bitcoin needs equivalent of 1% of the global wealth assets to hit that $1 million milestone target, according to on-chain analysts Willy Woo. That's right. Shout out Willy Woo. And let's break down this story. Welcome everyone just joining the live stream. Here we go. Popular on-chain analyst Willy Woo says Bitcoin just needs a fraction of the capital stored in the global wealth assets to reach the seven-figure price tag. He shares with his 1.1 million followers on X. Bitcoin needs inflows of $5 trillion to move its price to $1 million per coin. Are you ready, fam? Now, according to the analyst, the figure equates to roughly 1% of the global wealth assets. He also notes $620 billion has been invested into Bitcoin so far, and he outlines how he calculated the $5 trillion number, quoting Willy Woo. Number one, what's the market cap need to be at 1 million? Assume that it is happening soon, so the circulating supply is 19.8 million coins, so $19.8 trillion market cap, which is roughly a 20x from today's market cap, just north of maybe 1.1 trillion Bitcoin, that is. And number two, what will the multiplier be between capital invested in the market cap? This is a measure of liquidity conditions, and the deeper the liquidity, the lower the multiplier. And number three, this metric is known, it is called the MVRV, which is the market value to realized value ratio. It was an 8x in the 2013 top, 4.8x in the 2017 top, 4.0 in the 2021 top. And based on this historic liquidity trend, we can expect the next top to be a 3.5x multiplier. And if we hit 1 million in the cycle after this, then the multiplier will be even less, given the trend and deeper liquidity, making it harder to move the price per dollar invested. So I'll use the 3.5x to be conservative on capital needed. You with me so far? Number four, 19.8 trillion divided by 3.5 equals $5.66 trillion, which needs to be stored in the network. This metric is called the realized capitalization. And since the blockchain records every wallet with a time signature, we can estimate that the price paid as it enters the wallet. Now, realized cap needs to get to $5.66 trillion. Number five. Since the realized cap is only $620 billion today, we need it to climb a further $5 trillion to reach our target. Now, here's his conclusion. The analyst says he doesn't think Bitcoin will reach the $1 million price target in the ongoing cycle, which means this particular cycle we're in, due to the significant amount of capital required. So unlike Jan 3's Samson Mao, who's predicting Bitcoin to likely hit 1 million per coin within the next 12 months, Willy Woo is not so optimistic. So he's saying in order to hit 1 million, we need to basically just tap into 1% of the global wealth, and Bitcoin will make that happen. However, he does not see it happening in this particular cycle. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the on-chain analysts, and when likely do you think the Bitcoin will hit $1 million per coin? My personal prediction is by the year 2029, which is the year following the next halving, scheduled to take place in roughly April of 2024. Let me know if you agree, disagree, and welcome to the Q&A segment of the live show, and let me read your comments. And yes, that's only with 1%. So you run the math. What if 5% of the total addressable market of the global wealth in the world were to flow into the Biddy? We can 5x that estimate, $5 million per coin. What about 10%? $10 million per coin. 20%, 20 million per coin. 50%, 50 million per coin. Should I continue? Let me know. So I need to send JV the rosemary, sage, and sweet grass. I should add some thyme in there. Hey, I'll accept it all. Thank you, by the way. Looking forward to it. And thank you for the torch. The eagle has landed. Willy, adjust your total number of the biddy in circulation is less than 15 million. 3.6 million permanently lost. 1.1 million in the original Satoshi wallets never moved. 1.5. Yeah, he was being extremely conservative. So what I just shared with you is extremely conservative. And you make a great point, Greg. Thank you, Pirate. BTFD, I'm humming the song now. Nice. Ring, me too. My gaming coin has a turbo to 80% lose. Cab these, come back again. Fantastic. Folk music, eh? 140,000 is the cycle top. Predicts dirty, keeping it dirty. BTFD, eh? She's, I'll take the biddy price above the recent all-time high. That would be wonderful. I'll be happy if it's 1 million by 2030. More time to stack the biddy. Hope to be at 100,000 by the end of the year. Yeah, I think 100,000 is a very probable target in Q4. That's my projection. I think we can hit the 125,000 cup and handle pattern on the weekly chart, which I shared with you earlier. Highly optimistic to ask a 1 million target this cycle, but regardless if it will happen, keep stacking the biddy while the biddy is cheap.